How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here in our video. So, of course, it's time for another Detroit Lions 2023 NFL Draft Preview. So, in the last draft preview, we took a look at the top Day 2 linebacker prospects for rounds 2 and 3 of the 2023 NFL Draft class. And in this video, we're going to wrap up Day 2 of the NFL Draft previews by taking a look at the top defensive back and safety prospects in rounds 2 and 3 of the 2023 NFL Draft. So yeah, there's quite a bit of it, because even if the Lions do get like Joey Porter or Devin Witherspoon or even Christian Gonzalez in the first round, they could still address him like Day 2 or 3 with a third round pick, or maybe even later than that. You know, there are a few prospects to keep an eye on for rounds 2 and 3 of the draft, especially if they want to go get another safety. I mean, hey, the Lions got a safety last year in Kirby Joseph, and look how he turned out. So there's some positives there. But yeah, still some options though. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the prospects and see who the Lions should target and who they should avoid. But yeah, let's go. Alright, starting off with defensive backs. The first one we're going to go over here, hailing out of Texas A&M, standing 6'2", weighing 205 pounds. We got Jalen Jones. So for Jalen's strengths, he's long arms, slender frame, headache for receivers, difficult to work around at the catch point. Frame helps him with long steps and recovery. Makes him quite difficult to shake when operating in man coverage. Nimble on his feet despite his long, large body. Quite athletic. Covers ground pretty well in order to disrupt a catch point or pick up someone when working in zone. When working vertically, does a nice job working his assignment towards the boundary. Can limit space for catches. In terms of his weaknesses, though, needs to be more refined in man coverage. He lacks stickiness and gives up room underneath in coverage, allowing for catches. Balance needs to improve. He can stumble out of breaks and give up standing space for his assignment. Control is also important, as he has moments when he is in position to make a play but hasn't worked himself into a spot that takes momentum into the ball. Needs plenty of molding to reach that next step. Landing spot and scheme fit could be very crucial for his development. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to former Detroit Lions defensive back Amani Oruwariye, who's now with the Giants. Overall, a lot of things to like out of him for sure. You know, a couple of things that need to be worked on, but I think with Aaron Glenn being a former defensive back, if he fits that scheme, I think maybe take a look at him for sure. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Utah, standing 5'9", weighing 185 pounds, we got Clark Phillips. So for Clark, he's your prototype closing and recovering corner. In terms of strengths, he's a smooth transitional mover that can reorientate easily and man. Tough enough to throw himself in the fire against the run. Straight line speed can earn him a role on special teams as a gunner if he can hold up physically, so some versatility potentially. Fluid moving backwards, has body control, can develop to a high level. Good processing quickness when triggering downhill. Will take attack screens, can disrupt them. Backpedal depth sufficient. Doesn't have any awkwardness with it. Smart with his hands. Won't overcommit them when making contact. Comfortable in both zone and man coverage. Recovery quickness, can get back in face which will bail him out downfield. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's slightly short and slender frame. Could lead some teams to view him as just a nickel back. Slender build, modest play strength. It'll lead to falling off tackle attempts against big receivers. Small tackle radius, length looks modest, could create issues when asked to press and put his hands on receivers. Technique as a tackler needs a major rework, could use a little more urgency in pursuit. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Jason Verrett of the San Francisco 49ers. Overall, though, a lot of things to like out of his game, though. A lot of things that need to be worked on for sure, but you know, maybe someone to be a role player, a rotational piece for sure, maybe. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Mississippi State, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 180 pounds. We got Emmanuel Forbes. So for Emmanuel, he's your prototype top playmaker corner, so he's very good at making plays. In terms of strength, he's a freak show length, which will be game changer when it comes to pressing or playing the ball. First step acceleration and ability to close distance downhill stand out the most. Flips his hips well for a bigger corner. Long stride will help him recover lost ground down the field. Instincts are adequate. Moves well enough laterally to conceal off releases at the line of scrimmage. Hangs over to catch point like a trap door. Won't panic when a receiver bats away his hands and puts pressure on him along the route scheme. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's thin and gangly without ideal size. Long legs get tangled a bit too often. Back pedal's a bit underdeveloped. He has a major hitch. strength limitations in the run game, gets pushed around by both blockers and ball carriers, makes a lot of business decisions as a tackler, no chance of moving to safety, can get out of his comfort zone a lot when he can't work man coverage and put his hands on receivers, so he seems just more man covered only. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Darius Slay of the Philadelphia Eagles and a former Detroit Lion too. But overall, a lot of things to like on Emmanuel's game. A lot of things I like for sure. A few things, though, that might limit him. But yeah, I think Steve, this is someone that could be potentially on the board in maybe the second or third round for sure with one of the later picks. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Alabama, standing 6'2", weighing 190 pounds, we got Eli Ricks. So for Eli's strength, excellent length, allows him to bully receivers at the line of scrimmage and catch point. His hand-eye coordination helps with playing the ball. Physical and press, has strength to derail receivers. Good hands, huge instincts with patient initial contact. Potentially dominant trait once he becomes more consistent. He has blanket man coverage against receivers that lack top-end speed. Strength and accuracy as a tackler is functional. In terms of his weakness, though, he was buried initially at Alabama due to how deep Alabama's defensive back secondary chart is. And that will draw some questions from scouts about his playing time. Bit clunky and abnormally paced in his back pedal. Will be a bit reliant on contact to stay in phase and man coverage. Much less efficient in zone due to his average acceleration. He can get tangled up in transitions. Doomed when trying to recover after opening his hips too early. Lose a step on the deep ball against faster receivers. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Isaiah Oliver at the Atlanta Falcons. Overall, though, a lot of things to like out of his game for sure. Maybe someone to keep an eye on here for sure. Alright, so the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Syracuse, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 190 pounds, we got Garrett Williams. So for Garrett's strengths, he's great at keeping a spring position to read the QB and anticipates passes well, reads the QB's eyes at a high level. That reaction ability also plays in his ability to mirror his assignment when working in man coverage. Lateral mobility carries across the field, can keep in his assignment pocket, ready to attack the throwing window. Brings a lot of physicality to his play, works through contact, remain balanced in coverage, offers plenty of effort as a tackler to provide run support, works inside and out with his coverage assignment, which should help him find a spot in the field earlier. In terms of weaknesses, though, he did suffer an ACL tear in October that will keep him out for all of the offseason and potentially even longer, which will make him miss out on the chance to test in the 10 events and practice during developmental stages, which can be very tough entry for any rookie, especially a corner, with how difficult it is to play corner, especially as a rookie. Deep coverage skills raise concerns. Speed isn't where you want for a corner to play vertically. He can be too quick to open his hips to turn upfield, allowing for the underneath to open up. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Bryant McFadden, a retired corner now. But overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. But that injury, though, it's kind of like a Jameson Williams type deal where he's going to miss all the offseason and probably most of the season, too. To be honest, though, I think we can probably get a lot better with healthier corners. Like, Garrett looks solid, but that health issue, that's going to make me say pass on him. So I'm going to say pass. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Northwestern, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 195 pounds, we got Cameron Mitchell. So for Cameron's strengths, he's fluid when working across the field in the short to intermediate passing game as he stays compromised. Position to limit opportunity for his assignment. Does a nice job of mirroring to go step for step with his opponent. When ball's in the air, he uses finesse, can find a way to the football. Does a nice job anticipating the throw location, can get in front of the pass. Isn't perfect when working deep, but he does a nice job of going stride for stride up the sideline, can keep his head in position to turn and make a play. In terms of his weaknesses, though, his long speed gets taken advantage of when he operates downfield. His assignment breaks free on the inside when they've worked very vertically. Not slow, nor is he speedy, so overcompensates by overthrowing his hips too early in coverage, allows for open opportunities underneath. Needs to take a step forward with his physicality. He is light to take on his feet and issues getting out-muscled and boxed out. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Kristen Fulton of the Tennessee Titans. A lot of things to like out of his game for sure, but can get beat on vertical on the inside, but he can contain on the outside, though. Maybe the coaching staff like Aaron Glenn and Dre Blee can coach that in, but, maybe someone to possibly look at for a depth piece or rotation for sure. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Kansas State, standing 6'3", weighing 202 pounds, we got Julius Brents. So for Julius' strengths, he measured in with 33.88-inch arms and a huge frame that makes him impossible to miss. He uses his length well, whether it's matching up with larger receivers or high pointy footballs, or using his long strides to work down the field. Handled tight ends in coverage, did well. Physically works to his advantage, keeps his balance and momentum through contact, rarely outmatched by size. Profile is unique, which should drum some intrigue from teams looking at size to their cornerback unit. In terms of his weaknesses, though, solid deep speed, isn't the most fluid at working across the field, and shouldn't be tasked with deep coverage without help inside. Can be a bit stiff in a short field, which will allow separation of receivers when he doesn't overwhelm them with size. Press technique still needs plenty of refinement. He can get off balance at times if he misfires at the line. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired corner Sean Smith. A lot of things still to like out of him. His size, too, could be very intriguing. But a lot of things still need to be worked on. Maybe someone that could be something a few years down the line. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Miami, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 204 pounds, we got Tyreek Stevenson. So for Tyreek, he's your prototype run support defense corner, so he's very good at stuffing the run and support in there. In terms of his strength, he's prototype size for an outside corner, has great length and weight distribution, looks the part physically, plays the whistle, will chase even when he has little chance, brings serious pop behind his pads, and he can tackle like a safety, so good piece of versatility to where he can put him anywhere in the secondary. Competent solo tackler, has the accuracy and stopping power to take down big ball carriers, should have safety flexibility like I just mentioned, smart with his steps, play squared up in man coverage. In terms of his weaknesses, though, his feet are a bit heavy, which will prevent recovery once he's beat out of a break. Lack of ideal speed is going to hurt him for a lot of teams. Consistently a step behind on deep balls, slow out of turns due to limited agility and fluidity. Time speed is better than game speed, and he was listed as a player that could disappoint in the draft because he has rare size and strength with a nose for the run game, which seems like a good blend, but his lack of foot speed and his struggle downfield will be exposed against NFL receivers. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to free agent corner Quincy Williams. A lot of things to like out of him for sure. Does a lot of things right. Good size. Can even have versatility too. A few red flags still. But yeah, maybe someone to take a gamble on for sure. Definitely, I think he's a boom or bust pick. And the final corner we're going to go over in this video before we move on to safeties. We got hailing out of Stanford, standing 6'1", weighing 188 pounds. We got Key Blue Kelly. So for Key Blue, he's your prototype intangibles corner. In terms of strength, great processor, offering excellent patience, can sit in zone, decipher the play, works around the field well, offers quality lateral speed, can pick up defenders, stick on their pocket to take away the throwing window. Physical coverage, does a nice job keeping his base sturdy to maintain momentum and limit separation. Offers versatility to handle man and zone coverage at a high level. Could be versatile enough to handle the outside and the slot corner too, so he could play nearly any corner position in the secondary. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he moves around well, but lacks the speed to consistently hold up when he works downfield, and he paid for it for a few times. Has issues getting his eyes on the ball, leaves him prone to drawing penalties. When working outside, he needs to be more effective in getting his assignment out towards the boundary in order to limit their space to create more separation. Has the height, but playing style means he may be better suited to kick inside the slot corner, which could limit his overall value. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Cameron Sutton of the Detroit Lions. Overall, though, a lot of things to like out of his game, a lot of versatility for sure, but he's got to work on technique and not drawing in dumb penalties. He's got to keep his eye on the ball and the QB and tracking down the ball and the ball carrier. Overall, though, maybe someone to keep an eye on from like a slot corner position. Now on to safeties. The first one we're going to go over here, hailing out of Boston State, standing 6'4", weighing 215 pounds, we got J.L. Skinner. So for J.L., strength, has a huge frame, 33-inch arms, has an excellent build, makes him very noticeable on tape. Coupled with that size, his excellent speed, breaks downhill extremely well. Also smooth enough to float around the field, can drop back into coverage with ease. Play IQ's off the charts, keeps his eyes focused on the QB. Moves the anticipated throwing air extremely well. Break speed, gives him a leg up at creating turnovers. As a tackler, has impressive pursuit skill and the range to go sideline to sideline with the play. Given his frame, it's possible he's used in the boxes in a linebacker role at the NFL level, so he could have some versatility there too. Also been listed as one of the small school studs of this draft class, so killed it out there. Because he's the most physically impressive safety in the class. Has a lot of comparable assets to 2022 first-round pick Kyle Hamilton with the Ravens. You know, rare size and strength without compromising athleticism. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he can fly a little too aggressively on the football, has his angles off when working downhill. Also could stand to improve his play strength, as there are times he struggles to get off of blocks, especially when he tries to get around pulling blockers. While he has box versatility, man coverage ability is questionable. Could be limited as a strong safety who can't drop, didn't handle slot responsibilities. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to the now retired safety Telvin Smith. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. Has some versatility, very physical too. A lot of things to like out of him. Definitely someone maybe to keep an eye on for sure. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Florida, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 202 pounds, we got Rashad Torrance. So with Rashad's strength, he's a unique athlete, can close in a hurry without sacrificing calculated angles and body control. Uses his length effectively when he takes on blocks, can pick his way through the trash in his run game. Reliable tackler either alone or in tandem with teammates. Very effective running the alley, closing on the play. Has the range to work on the back end, can go sideline to sideline. Instincts are good enough to hold his own in both coverage and run defense. Quick and close, which will translate to ball production. Patient in his approach, won't get reckless as a tackler. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's still learning how to play the ball at a high level. Will miss some opportunities early in his career. Doesn't have much experience playing near the line of scrimmage. Will need time to develop if a team wants to play him as a nickel corner. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired safety Louis Delmas. So overall, a lot of things to like out of Rashad's game. Does a lot of good things well. Few things still that may need to take some time for him to develop, but maybe someone to sit behind both Kirby Joseph and Tracy Walker and can develop behind there in the secondary room. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Texas A&M, standing 6'3", weighing 195 pounds, we got Antonio Johnson. So for Antonio, he's your prototype coverage safety, so very good in coverage. In terms of strength, first off the bust size, bow coupe strength will change the way he matches up with receivers. Chest piece that can do everything from play deep to match up a man-to-man against tight ends. Incredibly explosive for his size, snaps out of his turns, unique catch radius, hard to evade in the open field. Extremely long strides, can work his deep safety, has experience at corner, can hold his own as an island in man coverage. Size and speed mismatch when he blitzes off the edge. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he takes a ton of missteps, puts himself out of position in both the run and pass game. Long legs can make him backpedal a bit clunky. Motor runs cold very often. Doesn't consistently play up to his size when he hits runners. All smack, no rap as a tackler. Game more about his traits than being a complete package at the moment. So he's got to work at finishing his tackles instead of just hit and then just hope he goes down. So he's got to actually get there. Play temperament will worry some teams. He's also been listed as a player that could disappoint in the NFL level because he looks the part. His tackling knows a major red flag for his frame. Too easily he's pushed around and lacks a tenacious edge scouts and coaches will want. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Trey Flowers of the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, a lot of things to like out of his game, but, very bad at, not that good at tackling. A lot of red flags for sure. To be honest, I think we could probably do a lot better with different safeties in this class that are probably a lot better, can do a lot more than Antonio, so I'd say probably pass on him. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of California, standing 6'1", weighing 207 pounds, we got Daniel Scott. So for Daniel, he's your prototype read and react safety. Okay, very good at reading and reacting to the play. In terms of strength, he's used as a deep safety, plays with a ton of confidence on the back end, quick to see it, can go get it in both the run and pass game. Speed's good enough to run the alley, can make it to the play. Instincts positioning will help him to offset not being an elite athlete. Versatile player, can fill different roles, be developed around the field. Good frame, ideal bulk for safety. Capable tackler, good angles, technique, and stopping power. Able to rev up the top speed and instinct. Game's incredibly well-rounded. Both skills are adequate. Took a significant step forward as a super senior with California. In terms of his weaknesses, though, extremely limited length, sub 30-inch arms, can hurt him as a tackler. Average hip fluidity, can get pushed around a bit too easily by tight ends when he has to go one-on-one. Agility has lapses when he has to plant and can drive after building up any momentum. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired safety Chris Prositsky. So, a lot of things to like out of his game for sure. Does a lot of things well reading and reacting to play. A couple minor things to clean up, but overall, definitely someone to keep an eye on here for sure. So, the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Florida State, standing 5'11", weighing 197 pounds. We got Jamie Robinson. So, for Jamie's strengths, sharp change of direction allows him to snap back into position with no trouble. Very bouncy athlete, can explode from a standstill. Brings plenty of ferocity as a hitter. Drives his way through contact. Plays bigger than he looks. Good processor. Won't fall asleep at the wheel against deep routes. Can cover receivers out of the slot on occasion. Great pack pedal. Covers ground efficiently. Speed and tenacity could hold up to special team duties as well. So there's some versatility right there. Angles as a run defender are controlled. Group tackler will chase his way to contact rather than let his teammates do the heavy lifting for him. In terms of his weaknesses, though, has a tiny wingspan, 29-inch arms that will impede his ability to land and finish tackles at times. Tackling technique's inconsistent, can lead to reckless misses, so he's got to learn to get better with that. Short strider, doesn't have the range to reach plays from the middle of the field. Average frame, can lead to ricocheting off contact as a tackler. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Jalen P3 of the Houston Texans. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game for sure. Does a lot of things right. Someone I would keep an eye on for sure. And the final safety, the final player in the secondary, the final defensive back, the final player we're going to go over in this video, hailing out of Illinois, standing 5'11", weighing 195 pounds, we got Tre'Tavious Martin. So for Tre'Tavious' strengths, has experience working single high, split zone, in the box, and an outside corner. Very highly versatile defender, smooth mover across the field, capable range to work sideline to sideline or to make a tackle. Consistent motor, has a knack for getting his hands on the football, with a record 11 passes deflected and 3 interceptions during this time with Illinois. Routinely disrupts his catch windows. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he flies around the field, but too often his tackles are outside of his frame, can cause him to miss when trying to pull down a ball carrier in man coverage. Should only be used sparingly as an outside option. Mirroring doesn't translate as well to the pro game. Needs to get his eyes playing to the QB instead of face guarding his assignment, as that will be taken advantage of by more nuisance receivers at the next level. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Jimmy Ward of the San Francisco 49ers. Overall, though, a lot of things to like out of Tre'Tavious' game. Does a lot of things like, has a lot of versatility. Some good speed, too. Definitely someone I would keep an eye on here for sure in the class. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here for this Detroit Lions 2023 NFL Draft Preview. So yeah, there are quite a few interesting names for rounds 2 and 3 of the draft to take a look at for sure. Some names to keep an eye on for sure. Some very interesting prospects, I think, that could be good rotational depth pieces or specific role assignment players in the secondary. Even though the secondary, is a strength for the Lions now with some of the free agent moves the Lions have made, bringing in Emmanuel Mobley, and also bringing in C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Cameron Sutton. As much as it's improved now, it's become one of the strengths on the team. I think it could be better, even with, the emergence of, Kirby Joseph last year. I still feel like the secondary could still be better and could improve, because there's always room for improvement everywhere on the team. So definitely some interesting names to keep an eye on for sure. Especially maybe in the later rounds for sure. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up for this draft preview. So the next time for the NFL draft previews, we're going to start taking a look at day 3 for rounds 4 through 7 of the draft. And for those draft previews, we're going to be looking at every single position. Since round 4 through 7 is all about adding depth pieces and getting bodies in for camp. And maybe some bodies to develop sometime down the line. And we'll be starting off by looking at the top round day 3 quarterback prospects, since it's very likely the Lions are going to be looking for a backup quarterback to go behind Jared Goff to compete with Nate Sudfeld for the backup position. So yeah, that'll be in the next draft preview. And yeah, that'll wrap it up here. That's all I got to say, and I'll see you all whenever I make next. I'm out.